So we have with us Romanian Ambassador to India, Sena Latif. Ma'am, thank you so much for talking to NewsX. I would just begin by asking that, since recently we saw that International Solar Alliance conference has just happened, how do you think that both India and Romania can, collaborate in the domain of solar when we talk about the solar technology and other things in the years to come?
Thank you very much indeed. This is a very good space to talk about this. Romania is a new member of the International Solar Alliance, and since, of course, it's a multilateral organization, the aims are much more beyond the scope of our bilateral partnership. But of course, being in India, this was what started our interest in this. And just last year, our foreign minister signed an anniversary declaration to mark 10 years of extended partnership between Romania and India. And that there they decided on three areas of focus. Of course, our partnership is very wide and it covers everything almost. But these three areas will require our immediate attention. It's energy is there, and that's why it's relevant for solar energy, of course. And then it's IT and manufacture. So coming back to energy, there is a lot of scope. Romania is one of the countries with the largest solar energy parks in Southeast Europe, in our region. We are strategically located between the Carpathian Mountains, the Black Sea. Especially in the southeast part of Romania, we have more than 300 days of sun sometimes, depending on the years. So that's a very, very good part where we've already started talking to Indian authorities, Indian investors, Indian big companies to come not only to invest but also to exchange technology and see together how we can develop this further. It's one of our main areas of focus these years.
So, Ms. Anna, if I would like to ask, recently, some time back, we saw that EU chief Ursula von der Leyen also visited India. And so, how do you see the free trade agreement between India and the European Union? Since Romania as an active member of the European Union, how do you see the trade partnership with India in the years to come? Particularly, we talk about the entire European continent as well.
I think we are now at an unprecedented moment in good relations between EU and India. We've had earlier this year a historic visit of the entire European Commission led by President Ursula von der Leyen, but all the commissioners, also the Romanian Vice President of the Commission was here. And indeed, more outcomes are very important from this visit. It's a strong symbol of political, diplomatic, security cooperation. And then, of course, one of the main outcomes was that both Prime Minister of India and President of the European Commission have expressed their commitment to finish the negotiation of this free trade agreement soon this year, hopefully as soon as possible. It's a very important instrument which will be helpful to both our markets. The European Union is the largest market cooperation for India. For us, of course, India also is an important, growing in importance in our trade. It's the fourth largest economy now, so that's impressive. And there is no world in where EU and India should not cooperate stronger, especially in trade. There will be many products, many projects that we can together have stronger after the signing of this free trade agreement.
I will now ask a little, different question from you. Like, considering this war between Russia and Ukraine has been going on for 4 years now, there has been no stopping from both the sides. At one time, Russia attacks Ukraine, and then Ukraine retaliates with sending drones to Russia. Romania being very close to, Ukraine, and recently we also saw, when Russia launched an attack on Ukraine, Romanian Air Force was on alert. So how do you see this entire situation? Do you think that this war between Russia and Ukraine will come to a halt? Because now the entire Eastern Europe is also now very, very cautious about how both Russia and Ukraine are attacking each other. What are your comments regarding this one?
It's indeed a very, very complicated, unfortunate event. We prefer to call it what it is, and it's not a war between Russia and Ukraine, because Ukraine did not want to be part of this war. We call it the unjustified invasion of Russia into Ukraine. It's an unjustified war, illegal, of course. There was no justification for this. It happened, as you say, a long time ago. It's very unfortunate that it's still happening. We hope that at any moment there will be, of course, peace. Ukraine should be at the table of negotiations, of course. And indeed, Romania is directly looking very closely to it. We have the longest border with Ukraine from the entire European Union. We are also neighboring Republic of Moldova, which is, of course, our partner, our sister, brother country, we call it. And, of course, we think after Ukraine, they are also under biggest impact. For Romania, the consequences were and still are very important because we've had a lot of refugees coming from Ukraine through our country. We had more than 6 million Ukrainian refugees cross the border into Romania. Not all of them stayed, of course, but there may be some others went to other countries. But more than 200,000 remained in Romania. It's about mostly mothers, children. So it was for our government, it was a huge impact. We had to change policies in public transportation, public social services, healthcare, education, schooling for the children. So this is a social, humanitarian, of course, economic on one side. On the other side, it was a huge deal of the grains, the cereal export. You remember, Ukraine is an important provider for many parts of the world, especially North Africa, Middle East. And those cereals were blocked in Ukraine because of the war. So through the European Union project called the Solidarity Lanes, Romania had an important role to help bring out this tons of cereals. More than 60% of what was exported from Ukraine in that time went through Romania. So that was a huge effort, not just us, from all our EU partners, because it meant a lot of pressure on our ports, on our infrastructure, on our railways. So customs by rail, by roads, by all the means were involved. So there was a big pressure on our society, our economy, that we've done to help, first of all, the Ukrainians, which are the biggest victims of this, but then, of course, all the neighbors and the other partners. With India, of course, we hope to continue the constructive dialogue in all the multilateral forum in order to keep hoping for a just peace in this.
Sana, my last question to you is, United States and the European Union have been now imposing sanctions on Russia. So that it stops its war on Ukraine. How do you see that? Do you think that more sanctions should be put on Russia, or should there be another way to stop this Russia-Ukraine war?
Well, there are many ways, of course, to stop the war. This is just one of the directions which is used, and it's showing its efficacy. The idea, of course, behind it is to stop increasing economic activity that will go into fueling, into funding the war. And we think it's effective. We can see many companies and other partners that have been decreasing their activities, not just trade, but there's many naval and other kinds of cooperation that should be avoided in order not to help this unjust war carry on.
Thank you so much for talking to NewsX. So this was Romanian Ambassador to India speaking exclusively to NewsX. This is Aditya Vadhavan reporting for NewsX, Delhi, with video journalist Raju.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.